Good morning, everyone. How are you doing? This is Amanda. Today is the 24th of August 2020, and I'm coming back to do a twin flame update. I have got a twin flame playlist on my channel. If you look at the playlist, you'll see the other videos that I've done in this, what I'm wanting to call a series, because I don't do them every week, I don't do them every month. Sometimes I don't even do them every quarter. I do them when I'm called to do them and when I feel as though there's something new to say. Because the truth is, often, although there may be a lot going on underneath the surface with twin flames, sometimes what you actually see on the surface in terms of movement and action can be really, really slow. So I am firstly in this video going to refer you back to October 2019. I have done another video since then. I did one in May, which is really odd because I can't even remember doing it, but YouTube tells me I did. But no, I'm going back to October 2019 and the twin flame video I did there. Now, in that video, I talked about Tower Bridge for a number of different reasons, and it's very symbolic. It came in on the back of this beautiful drawing that somebody had done for me. Do you remember me showing you this? And we talked about Tower Bridge effectively opening, and what I was seeing in my mind's eye was a flotilla of ships going through the bridge when it was open, because the bridge only opens to allow through a ship that is particularly tall or can't make it through without the bridge being open. So in my mind's eye, I saw this very big ship going through and then a number of other ships following. Now, the ships represented partnerships, basically. They represented divine masculine and divine feminine partnerships that were full steam ahead, is what I'm hearing, okay, which were being given a green light and full steam ahead. So it was very symbolic, this opening, this gateway that was going to allow through unions between two people that may not yet have manifested. And that was the message. We also got a song from Metatron, which was Wings. Paul McCartney, Linda McCartney, who absolutely were twin flames, still are twin flames. And the song was With a Little Luck. So, Saturday just gone, 22nd, double two in a 2020 year. Okay, the two I keep referring to always reminds me of the swan. The swan is a sign linked into love. Swans mate for life. Swans are together for not just life, but for eternity. So on the 22 of 2020, this bridge basically locked open. It malfunctioned and it remained open for a number of hours before they corrected whatever the problem was. And I thought, aha, there's something in this. So I wanted to come back and do a reading on it. Now, you can Google yourself what it looked like when it was stuck open. Although, to be honest, it sort of looked a bit like that. Okay. But I just found this picture, which I thought was quite interesting. So this was from the evening, okay, when it was stuck. And I was drawn to a couple of things. I was drawn to these three people who are on bended knee, obviously taking photographs of this phenomena. The fact that they're on bended knee. My last video was Sweet Surrender. There's this thing about reverence in that pose to me. But the other thing that I noticed is the blue light. Okay, these blue lights around the archway or the opening. It's literally like, I mean, if you follow me regularly, okay, it's literally like putting all the pieces of the jigsaw together with my readings, because I've done other readings where I've been talking about a blue door, okay? Cannot remember what video that was in. It wasn't a twin flame video. It was information that came through about, I wonder what's behind the blue door. And I brought up Shakin' Stevens, who did a song called Green Door, and that's how it all went in my mind. And the song goes something like, behind the green door, I wonder what behind the green door. It's all about I wonder what's behind the green door, but this is the blue door, okay? Bear with me. So there's something going on with blue light here. I also kept seeing this card in my mind's eye, okay, which again shows a gateway type energy, blue light, okay? And this one is about the blue flame. Spontaneous awakening, activation, and integration time. Now, I'm going to break one of my own rules here, but rules are there to be broken, because even though I've been following the the twin flame energy for, well, decades, to be perfectly honest, but and I don't read everything there is to know out there. I don't need to be perfectly honest, but I do know that in the twin flame community, a lot of people break it down into, so you are you're on the blue ray, you're on different rays. Now, I'm a colour therapist, so as far as I'm concerned, all of the colours effectively make up the rainbow. So the fact that you say to me, I am a twin flame on a particular colour ray, it's almost like, oh, okay, well, that's interesting, but I've never really paid much attention to it before. But I am hearing there's something here linked into the blue ray twin flames. Okay, now straight away I can hear you saying, well, how do I know that I am one? That's the multi-million-dollar question, isn't it? Because you could say that about so many things linked into the spiritual path, which is about you need to just get to a point where you either re-remember or learn it. It's not about somebody telling you. I can't tell you, oh, you are a blue ray or you are not. It just sort of suddenly dawns on you that you probably are. Think about the colours that you're particularly, you've been linked to your whole life. I mean, for goodness sake, I had to change my top before making this video. I was wearing a really lovely pink shirt, even though I say so myself, which was actually much more flattering. And I had to go and change into this top. And of course, it's blue. My favourite colour is turquoise. It's always been turquoise. I've got blue eyes, but you know, it goes on and on. I love the colour blue. So it's almost like I had this thunderbolt moment where it's like, duh, of course you're a blue ray. Why didn't you realise that before? Maybe I didn't need to realise because it was a timing thing, okay? So I think some people already know, some people don't. Some people are about to become aware that they're very much linked into the blue ray. Now, the blue ray is also linked into many things, but particularly linked into starseeds and that energy as well. I don't want to get too bogged down with regard to am I a blue ray or am I not a blue ray? Why I'm bringing it up is I feel as though whatever happened on the 22nd was linked into people that align to the blue ray. And very much like what Metatron's saying, very much like the rainbow is made up of a number of different colours, red, orange, blue, indigo, yellow, green, violet, okay? We know the 7 colours of the rainbow and how they make up the whole spectrum. Well, the awakening and the... I'm seeing like a beautiful, it's almost like the reverse of a mushroom cloud. Okay, but it's almost like the shape of a mushroom cloud, but rather than it being an atomic explosion, this is a mushroom cloud that's basically made up of all the colours of the rainbow, all of the frequencies, colours that we've never seen before with our physical eye. And what's coming is a huge explosion and awakening of twin flames, who either hadn't realised that they were one and they suddenly have an awareness of a certain person in their life who may be alive or may not be alive. Let me come back to that, okay? Or maybe you do know who your twin flame is, and if it is in your contract to come together in this lifetime, again, you may have already met them, but then coming back into union, or maybe you never have actually got it together, as it were, but then you do get it together. That comes in. But I'm just seeing there's this sort of explosion of energy but there's a lot of I'm just hearing the word activation, which is actually what we've got on this card. Spontaneous awakening and activation and integration time. Now, what I'm saying to you is it feels as though the blue ray twin flames are the first ones through the gate, okay? This is a symbolic gate, but I mean, the way she's drawn this is so beautiful because we've got male and female, okay? We've got the male, the divine masculine, Interesting, I said them the wrong way round, but it doesn't matter. The blue rays are the first flotilla through. Following that will be the other colour frequencies. I can't tell you what time that happens in, I'm afraid, but I'm just being given the information as I'm hearing it. Having said that, there's also a violet energy in this card as well. So it's violet and blue. Feels as though if you align particularly to those colour frequencies, they seem to be the first that make up this huge activation that's about to happen on our planet. Now, what is propelling this is quite interesting. Over and above anything that we may have said before, we're also actually being helped by this Mars in Aries conjunction that we've got going on at the moment, which, to be honest, has surprised me. But I've pulled 4 cards, okay? So the first one was this one, which I've just shown you. The second one is this one, and this is what got me thinking about Mars in Aries, because what it says is Mars energy, anger and conflict softening to love. So I'm hearing within that there has been huge resistance, either by one party or both parties, to get closer, become more intimate, potentially come back into union. And this is softening. It's as though the power of the love that is felt between these two people is now so great that there is no denying it. Okay, there's no denying the power of this connection. And so whatever barriers, whatever blocks have been there, including anger, because there is anger that comes into this path, which is I might feel very sort of settled where I am, or I might be comfortable where I am, even if it doesn't particularly work, but it's okay. There's been a wave of anger that's come up, which is like, I don't need the boat rocking, I don't need the boat rocking. I can just push this to one side and forget that love is there. Well, this Mars in Aries energy is just, what I'm hearing is like it's knocking heads together, okay? So souls that have been a bit stubborn, and when I say stubborn, that's basically got fear as an energy behind it, because ultimately any soul wants to be, twin flames want to be together. But yes, there have been circumstances, there have been karmic relationships often that have often prevented it as well. But now it's as though Spirit effectively is this Mars in Aries energy, which is quite confrontational, but I'm hearing it's just like knocking heads together. It's like, come on, you two, are you going to see this or are you not? Okay. And the ones that are able to see it are being given free passageway through. Okay. Now, I want to also mention the ones that, even though Spirit's like knocking very hard on the door, which is like, come on, wake up. There's a calling here to come back together, or to, if you already are together, to be in a greater connection with each other. What is blocking it, despite this Mars in Aries energy, which is trying to push you forward, is this card. Okay, so let's put this one up. So this really, to me, talks about addiction, codependency. It says loosen your grip. It says coping mechanisms, density, addiction. And then it says let God in. So for the twin flames, either one or both parties who have just, even though in their heart of hearts they know where they need to be, they know who they need to be with, they know probably what needs to happen, even if it's difficult to bring that about. What they've been doing is they've been using coping mechanisms to block it out, okay? Block out what needs to be done, what needs to be said, what needs to be let go of. These blocking mechanisms, coping mechanisms, as this card talks about them, this could be drinking too much, it could be working too much, it could be partying too much, although partying is quite hard in this sort of COVID world that we're all in. It's anything, exercise I'm hearing. Some people are exercising. It's almost like an exercise addiction, which is, again, it's just another way of not having to face your feelings, not have to face what's in your heart. It's as though I can ignore my heart's calling by pouring myself into work, by pouring myself a large drink, by pouring myself into exercise, but by pouring myself into service as well, I'm hearing, okay? So there are also people watching me now who probably have, who do spiritual work, who do healing work. And it's that thing about, because effectively what you're doing is you're blocking receiving a great love or a greater connection or a greater intimacy with your beloved. What you are doing instead is you are giving and giving and giving. You're over giving, basically. So over giving is also a coping mechanism, because it's a bit like, well, it's true addiction. It's sort of like, if I keep doing it, it makes me feel temporarily good, but then actually long term it's not making me feel good, because actually it's ending up zapping my energy. I'm depleted, I'm unhappy, I'm actually depressed beneath it all, but I don't want to actually face that depression. It's the same thing with drinking. It's like the first drink actually feels quite nice, doesn't it? You know, I'll have another one, feels quite nice. When that starts to become more than that and starts to become reliance on the drink to make you feel okay, or anything that you're doing in an addictive way to make you feel okay, to be able to bear the status quo because I don't want to rock the status quo, you're in trouble. Now, the guidance from this card is loosen your grip and let God in. That is a biggie. That's a biggie. Should we just allow a moment just to pause and think about that before I just go into the next thing? Loosen your grip and let God in. What would it feel like to let God in? What would it look like to, I said in my May video, to surrender? When you surrender, you're basically letting God in. Surrendering, though, doesn't mean, on one hand, I'm just saying, okay, I'll leave it up to the universe to decide whether this is ever going to happen or whether I can achieve a greater level of intimacy within my relationship with my beloved. But then, you know, drinking or over-exercising or overworking, that's not really what it is it? Because it's almost like you're doing it with one hand, but then taking it away with another. Truly letting God in is actually, what I'm hearing is letting God in inside. So it's also to do with matching the frequency that you hold inside. So therefore, if you have an addictive behavior, that ends up causing problems either to your emotional body, your physical body, your spiritual body, certainly. You're harming the temple in which your soul resides, which is effectively where God wants to communicate with you and commune with you and heal you and help you, okay? So these are very, very powerful energies that I'm tapping into here. On one hand, yes, there is this portal. You know, this is a portal. What happened on Saturday on the 22nd is that there were, okay, what Metatron's saying is he's showing me beneath the surface of the water, there was a lot of activity. What does he mean by that? What he means by that is that there were steps taken on Saturday energetically in the astral and also in the physical to make this greater connection, greater intimacy, moving closer to each other become reality for more of the group, particularly if you're linked into the blue ray lineage. But as I say, don't get fixated on that because there are a whole load of other colours. I'm actually seeing there's it's stacking back. The only way I can describe it is it's as though some people moved closer to union, even if you've got no physical manifestation of it yet. On Saturday, there was like a key turned in a lock. There were decisions made with your mind. There were decisions made with your heart. There was a line drawn in the sand, and some people have decided, right, we're literally green light, go. It's going to happen. There is then like a stacking back of other couples, effectively, who I'm seeing are of that blue ray still, but then behind it, it's really beautiful. It goes into the distance. It goes so far into the distance. All of the colours of the rainbow, they're all there, basically. It's just waiting for for activation, just put my hand onto my phone. I just put my elbow went onto my phone, and I went like that because my phone's gone really hot, and I'm realizing it's nearly 11:11. It's 10 past 11. So 11:11 is another. Oh, of course, 11:11 is another portal. Okay, because it's 10 past 11. It's not quite. Okay, right. We're being given. That's a clarion call going out that the 11:11 portal is going to be the next time, the next big opening. Okay, for these groups to. It's literally like it's being marshalled by spirit. That's what I'm being shown. It's like being marshalled by spirit. This is all symbolic, Tower Bridge, but it's literally like spirit are just marshalling through. Okay, you're ready. You've done the work. You know, you're not perfect, but we can see you're on track. Come on through to the next stage. You're not quite there yet. You just wait there and bob around a little bit longer and think about whatever you need to think about. Work on whatever you need to work on. You at the back, actually, you've got a lot more work to do. And it might not be both parties' fault. There might be one party that's gone AWOL and you're waiting for them to rejoin the ship, okay? But I'm literally seeing it's like spirit is marshalling that. So what happened on Saturday is there was just like, yep, come on. It's literally like a traffic marshal. Come on, you go through. That's fine. You're doing well. Come on. And it's like, you know, now you stop. 11:11 is the next one. And I say that, and look at that. It is 11:11. Okay. Right. So, but you've got to let God in. I'll just show you the final card that I pulled, and then I want to just pull some cards live, as it were. I've also got this one, pulled this yesterday. This is beautiful, look at that. It says, all paths lead home. All paths lead home. And I love that because straight away it takes off the pressure, which is that, oh my God, it's got to be done in a certain way. If I don't do something by a certain time or say something or, you know, heal something or integrate something, I've missed the opportunity. You know, I can't find my way home. What this is saying is all paths lead home. And I'm hearing that song in my head now by, I think it's Ellis. Let me just look it up. I'll find my way home. I'll find my way home. Oh, what a beautiful song that is. I wish I could play music on this channel. I'll find my way home. Oh my gosh, the lyrics to the song. Okay, so what Metatron's just given us. John and Vangelis, I'll find my way home. Ties into this, all paths lead home. You ask me where to begin. Am I so lost in my sin? You ask me where did I fall? I'll say I can't tell you when. But if my spirit is lost, how will I find what is near? Don't question, I'm not alone. Somehow I'll find my way home. My sun shall rise in the east, so shall my heart be at peace. And if you're asking me when, I'll say it starts at the end. You know your will to be free is matched with love secretly, and talk will alter your prayer. Somehow you'll find you are there. Your friend is close by your side and speaks in far ancient tongue. A season's wish will come true. All seasons begin with you. One world we all come from, one world we melt into one. Just hold my hand and we're here. Somehow we're going somewhere. Oh my God, listen to that song, guys. That is just so beautifully perfect. Oh, wow. Yeah, okay. I just love the way that they weave, spirit just weaves songs in. I will say, because I had one question come in, I said I was going to do this video yesterday. I've just written a few little notes down. Somebody brought up geographic distance. It's actually one of you that I know. I know I've done some work with you before. I won't say your name. And I also have seen your partner, only in a photograph, but you're a lovely couple and you know who you are because we talked about it. But anyway, this lady brought up the fact that she's separated by distance from her twin flame at the moment, and literally they can't get to each other. They're in different countries. I think that is something that's probably affecting many twin flames. The truth is that often twin flames, before they, the separation phase, let's put it that way, the separation phase of twin flame can often create real physical distance as well as emotional distance between the two of you. So just know that if you're currently separated from your twin flame by physical distance as well as spiritual distance, sorry, not spiritual, emotional distance, ultimately you're not. I'm going back to this card. All paths lead home. I'm hearing that you are within each other's heart anyway. So the heart is the portal, isn't it? That card on the bottom of the deck, wait. Wait, it's not yet time. Things are being woven. So this is a message for those people who are physically apart at the moment. It's a waiting game. It's a waiting game, okay? And even though the waiting game might feel very frustrating and as though you're going nowhere, as though you're actually just going round and round in circles, what this is saying is that things are being woven. What was I just saying about there's a lot that you can't see beneath the surface? There's a lot that you can't see that's going on right now, but actually Spirit is weaving a master plan, I'm hearing, to get people back together who need to be together some way, somehow, okay? Again, that energy of, where is it? Let God in. Let God in. Surrender and let God in. And I'm not even going to then add to that, because as soon as I add to that, I'm not letting God in. Let God in is allowing it to unfold in the way that God plans it and is weaving it, rather than somebody like me or anybody else saying, okay, well, he's weaving it and it's going to look this way. You know, it's going to be exactly like this and it's going to happen on that date. That's not letting God in. That's back to control energy, okay? So we've got to let God in. Okay, I've got a couple of other decks that I'm going to use here. The one that I've been using so far is the Starseed Oracle by Rebecca Campbell and Danielle Noel, who did the artwork. So I'll put the link to that below. I also just want to use a deck here, which is Queen of the Moon Oracle by Stacey DeMarco. But actually, before I do that, I'm going to use a card. I'm going to take a card for the Divine Masculine and the Divine Feminine. And this is from the Wild Unknown Archetypes deck by Kim Kranz. I showcased this in my last video. It's pretty heavy duty. There's some really deep energies within this deck. So I thought, yeah, let's have a look at where both parties are. Should we start with the Divine Masculine? Let's see where the Divine Masculine is. Okay. The Shapeshifter is where the Divine Masculine is. The Shapeshifter. Oh, look what's on the bottom of the deck. The ocean. What was I just saying about there's a lot happening beneath the surface of the river that you can't yet see? You can't see it. We've got the Shapeshifter and we've got the ocean. Wow, okay. Let me just put the cards up because they're quite unique, aren't they? So the Divine Masculine is shape-shifting, and we've also got the energy of the ocean. What does that mean? That means that the Divine Masculine is able to transform and become the person that he wants to be. I don't want to say that you want him to be, because it's not about really what you want him to be. It's about where he needs to be. And where he needs to be, it goes hand in hand, is what you need him to be. But it's important that you don't come from a place of, I want him to shapeshift into, you know, Mark Darcy, you know, and all of that. That's the reference if you don't know was it Mark Darcy? Or am I getting confused? I think I'm getting a bit confused with a bit of, is it Pride and Prejudice? And also I've got Bridget Jones' Diary in my mind. What was he called? It's the same guy, it's Colin Firth. I'm seeing Colin Firth. Okay, it's not fair to expect him to shapeshift into Colin Firth, okay? You know, and to be whatever he was, Mr. Darcy, wasn't he? You know, coming out of the lake. You see, he came out of the lake. I know I've lost some of you here, but those of you that know what I'm talking about, I'm sure it was Pride and Prejudice. Colin Firth, the hero, the romantic hero. My throat's going. He comes out of the lake and he's wearing this sort of like, I'm getting all hot now. He's wearing this loose blouson type shirt and he's got like the rippling chest and he just looks beautiful, absolutely beautiful. And all the women who watched it were like, oh my God, and the men as well. If you if you like men as well, it's not about male and female sexuality. It's just as a divine masculine energy. He was like, oh my God, he's hot. So there's a bit of that, and then there's also a bit of Bridget Jones, which is, he was the hero in that as well. Although I quite like Hugh Grant. But anyway, I'm deviating. The point is, it is not for the divine feminine to dictate what she wants the divine masculine to shapeshift into, okay? That last couple of minutes of me sort of swooning over Colin Firth, that's coming from, I would like it to look like that. No, the divine masculine will shapeshift into who he needs to be. Okay, into who he needs to be. Let's get serious. It's hard to get serious. But equally, there's an energy here of lighten up, lighten up. I think sometimes when we do these readings, it can be very sort of like po-faced and like, oh God, you've got to do this and you've got to do that and this is happening. And Spirit wants us to lighten up. That's a little bit also of let God in, God actually has got a sense of humour, believe it or not. Some would say, yes, we know he has, but he's, God is about light. So the more that we can lighten up and step into joy, it's going to help the whole situation. So yeah, divine masculine, shape-shifting into what he needs to be. But also I'm hearing bringing back aspects from previous lives, okay? So you and he have known each other in a multitude of lifetimes, which is why when you see your twin flame, it's just like that, like, oh my God, I know you. Or even if you don't, even if that doesn't go through your head, it's like, ooh, it's like thunderbolt moment. That's what it is. It's because you've known them before in previous lives. You recognize the soul. It's that simple. Okay, you recognize the soul. So what the divine masculine is doing at the moment is he is bringing back aspects that he's been in previous lives. Good bits. It may be that they've had lifetimes whereby they were, for example, I don't know, a great healer or had great spiritual knowledge and wisdom. Because what Metatron's saying is this twin flame project, because effectively it does feel a bit like a project. It's a bit of an experiment in some ways in terms of, when the planet is going through this amazing period of transformation and growth and difficulty, can love survive and can love thrive despite everything else that's going down in our world at the moment, At the most difficult time in our world where, as I said, some people are completely separated by distance and aren't even with their twin flame, can you still hold on to this? Can you still believe that whether it's union, greater intimacy, connection is possible? Yes, you can, okay? But it's not a vanity project. This experiment, this project, it's not a vanity project. What does Metatron mean by that? These reunions, this greater connection of these twin flames that are coming back together, it's not a vanity project because it's more than just, I love you, and you love me. These are unions that are going to rock the world, okay? And you're like, oh my God, really? Yeah, because the vibration is that high. When these two get back together, or connect deeper, it rocks the world. It's that important. That's why Spirit are ushering those through that are ready. It's as though we can't wait for everybody to be ready at the same time, and that would never happen anyway. So they're ushering through the ones that have done the work. Come on, you're ready, on to the next phase. You stop there. It's like it's being marshalled. I'm just seeing all these marshals in Spirit who are trying to help. Because, this is not a vanity project. It's to do with people coming back together for a purpose, for a reason, for a higher perspective. And much of this, you will never know what that even is until you pass over, and then you have your life review and you're like, oh my God, yeah, I realise now that with this person, I was able to, or they helped me to reach even higher, you know, to do something together that never would have happened otherwise. For some people, maybe to have children, not everybody, but some people to have children together. Those children are pivotal for the next stage of, you know, the planet. There's something that you just bring to the table together that is really, really important for wider consciousness, not just, it's nice to be back in their arms. You know, that's what he means by that. The ocean. I'm wanting to get quite poetic with that card because this is the divine masculine energy and where they are. So even though there's a lot that you can't see that's going on beneath the surface, I'm also feeling it's linked into the unfathomable depths of love, the unfathomable deep connection that is as deep as the deepest part of the ocean. And I'm hearing that even in the deepest part of the ocean, there is still life. So this is almost like bringing something back from the dead. You know, this is like connections that you thought there's just no way in God's earth that this is going to happen. Again, I wanted to preface this with, if it's in your soul contract, it can come back, okay? I'm not wanting to bring false promise to everybody because some people have already signed up for the fact that they're not going to come back into union in this life, okay? And that's just the truth. And that's not sort of like, oh, really? That means that actually there's something else that you're meant to be doing. There's actually something else just as beautiful, just as great. You know, it's not all twin flame connections, and why I read on them is because I believe they're just one expression of the ascension path, of the awakening path. They're one route you can go down. There are many other routes. And if you've got another route that your soul has signed up to, then it will do that. And it will still find love. You know, again, the hierarchy of love is a human construct. I've said that these unions coming back together, yes, it's a really high vibration, but equally there are other very high vibrations of love with other people who aren't necessarily going to be with their twin flame in this lifetime, but might be with the most fantastic soulmate who are doing different things. It's just a different vibration. Metatron's saying there are different vibrations of high vibration, okay? It's humans that want to put one on top of the other. He's giving me the analogy of musical notes. And I know nothing about this, so I'm a bit out of my depth, but he's just showing me all these beautiful high notes that you can reach, okay? If you were an opera singer now, beautiful high note that you could reach, and people would listen and they'd go, oh my God, how beautiful is that? And your heart would be open. And then somebody else will do another note, and it's a different note, but it's just as high. And it's like, oh God, that sounds beautiful too. That's sort of the way love is. So when we're talking about twin flames, we're just talking about one unique expression, one particular high that you can have, okay? Right, but yeah, deep reserves as well, I'm feeling that the masculine has. I'm also wanting to say that the masculine at the moment is going through enormous transformation, and having to let go of so much to step into the new. And it's taking all of their strength, it's taking all of their willpower, it's taking all of their determination to believe this is possible, to even believe in this union, to be perfectly honest. Okay, to even believe that this isn't just in their mind. Enormous strength and courage it's taking. Let's have one more card for the Divine Masculine. The Destroyer, yeah. The Destroyer, they are having, that's what I was just feeling, they are having to let go of some serious, I want to swear, shit. They're having to let go of some serious shit. You know, look at that, blue ray again in the middle, look at that. That's the Pleiadian connection. That links to the Pleiades. There's also a strong link to Sirius as well. So those of you that know star systems, and I don't like to say where you're from because we're children of the universe. It's just, again, we align to particular parts of the universe that we can call home, but ultimately the whole universe is home. But there's a link to the Pleiades, and there's a link to the Sirius constellations. But again, I don't feel as though a lot of them are even aware of that. Some are, of course they are, but not all. So their galactic soul brothers and sisters are helping them to let go of what no longer serves, and to actually be quite ruthless. Yeah, you see that card on the bottom of the deck. I mentioned this card in another video, that they're literally on the brink of a new world, but they're having to let go of the old one. You know, we should have great respect for where the divine masculine is at the moment, because this is taking extraordinary strength to be able to go as deep as they need to be. And I'm also being told that some of you are not seeing any evidence of this on the surface. Remember what I keep saying about it's happening beneath the surface. They're probably not talking about this to any of their friends, any of their colleagues. It's an inner process that's happening. But what it's about is it's trying to birth a new world in the womb. Okay, the womb is the creation, it's the place of life. And you see that downward pointing triangle links into the masculine energy. If it was an upward pointing pyramid, it would be feminine energy. This is the masculine energy that is within the womb. Everything of the old is being destroyed by this energy to create this new masculine energy coming in, standing on the threshold. That is a scary place to be. It's a scary place to be, and we should hold the divine masculine in love for where they are on their journey. Wow, let's see where the divine feminine is, shall we? So I'm going back to that first line of the John and Vangelis. Sorry, I'm still in the divine masculine energy. You ask me where to begin. Literally, it's like, where do I begin? I have to let go of so much. Am I so lost in my sin? Sin is an old-fashioned word. It's that thing about addiction that we were talking about earlier. You ask me, where did I fall? I'll say, I can't tell you when. But if my spirit is lost, how will I find what is near? Don't question, I'm not alone. Somehow I'll find my way home. Somehow I'm going to find my way home. And I'm going to cross oceans in some cases for that. Whether that's physical oceans or it's symbolic oceans. Some people are feeling as though there literally is an ocean between us. And that's also for people who are already together, that they are needing to ascend to the next level in their relationship, but yet it feels like there's this ocean between us. Okay, let's have a look at where the divine feminine is. Let me just get into her energy. I'm just going to spray the Mary Magdalene because that masculine energy is so strong. It's like, whew, let's just bring the feminine in, please. Okay. Divine feminine energy. Where is the divine feminine energy, please? Just hearing. There's just this energy of quiet expectation, hush. Hush. Okay, let's see what the cards say. Divine feminine, where is she? It's almost like not wanting to come out. Divine feminine, thank you. the sword. Goes with the sword. The vessel. Can you see this is an image of it's quite a sexual image actually. It's a lady. Her hand is there. Vessel. Links into the womb again. She's holding the divine masculine. Not literally, this is energetic. She's holding this creation. The feminine is the one who is able to give birth. Okay, she creates life within the womb. She is allowing the process that's going on with him at the moment. I'll read the messages that go with these as well, because as I say, it's a new deck. Let's just read what the vessel is about. Here's my book. The vessel. So there we go. Okay. Remember, this is divine feminine energy. The vessel may be the most powerful archetypal form on earth. It's everywhere. Cups hold liquid, stoves hold fire, our bodies hold organs, our homes hold families. Through the simple act of separation, the vessel protects what it contains. Even the planets are contained within the circular orbit. When this card appears, it's time to assess what is being held together and how. Is the vessel too tight, too loose, broken, empty, full? Or perhaps there is no vessel at all and the contents spill in every direction. The vessel has a life cycle that must be honoured. Is it time for you to build, break or repair? You must find out. Then we had the sword, you see, I heard that like line in the sand. I mean, obviously twin flames are going to mirror each other to an extent. Of course they are. So I'm feeling there's a bit here about what is the divine feminine holding on to at this time. She's only able to hold within her cup, and the cup is life, that which truly honours her. Because I keep seeing this, it's like the sword has been laid down on the horizon. This is the masculine and feminine here, the sun and the moon. The sword of truth. So she's all about truth at the moment. She's all about standing in her truth, trying to live in truth. Only that which is sacred can come near. Only that which is right can come near. Only that which is what I truly align with can come near. There may have been episodes in the past where she would accept lesser, but those days are no more. Only the sacred can come into the cup, because the cup is where I hold myself. The cup is where my body is. With my body, I the honour. Okay? It's that message I was saying earlier, linked into needing to clean up our inner body, because it's the temple in which our soul resides. There's a purity here with the divine feminine, I feel. There's a purity, which is why the masculine is really having to clear up their act to come to her. It doesn't mean she's perfect, but it does. I'm picking up a purity of energy. Let's have one more from this deck for the divine feminine. I sort of want to use the Queen of the Moon Oracle for the feminine as well. So let's just see if there's one more card from here for the divine feminine. See if it wants to come out. If it doesn't, it doesn't. Two more choices, two more chances. Okay. Yeah, the castle. Look at that, pearls and a rose. The castle. Something very precious. Something very precious about these two energies. She knows the power of her body. She knows the power of what she has to give. There's something here linked into sexuality and sacred sexuality. Now, one of you left a comment on my last video, which I wanted to weave in because I thought it was quite interesting. I think it comes in right here to what we're talking about now. It's a message from One Cosmic Love. She says, Amanda, it might seem unrelated, but I think everything is related in our world, like everything. She's actually talking about the fires in California. She says, Amanda, can you chat with us about the fires that are happening in California? Beautiful gardens of Edens have burned. The Santa Cruz Mountains have had a lot of energy in them. Magic, ritual, sexual, tantra. I'm curious about what you and your guides could bring through. I love you. Oh, thank you. So there's something to do with the mountain, the sacredness of the mountain. You see, I read that and I was just feeling sexual release that is needed, but needed in the right way, in a sacred way. I don't know anything about tantric sex, but that's what this person's talking about, sexual tantra energy. I don't know, there's just something about, there's a reverence for my body. If you are to come towards me, there has to be that total respect. And I actually know of a few people who are twin flames who have had issues in that area. And it's almost as though if you can't meet me at the level that I need to be met, then don't come near me at all. It's that type of energy. So that's been going on as well within some twin flame relationships. There's been this energy of, it can also be to do with, if you're in a karmic relationship that needs to close out, there's a knowingness that I can't give that of myself to somebody that is not my equal anymore. It might have been okay in the past, it isn't okay anymore. So there's this energy of almost like celibacy, chastity type energy coming in with this energy of pearls and this thing here. She's got her hand on the most private part of her body. It's like a barrier. It's like, you can't. You can only come towards me because I totally honor myself as a divine feminine, and I know what I have is precious. Nectar is what I'm hearing. So if you come to me of a lower energy, with just some sort of manipulative or, let's see what I can get from you type energy, or you're in a relationship whereby it's not true any longer, it's not where you're meant to be, then there can't be this connection. The connection can only come from the one you're really meant to be with. Okay? So yeah, there's something about those fires as well. It's a release of pent-up energy. Let's pull a card. I want to do a whole video on that, so I'm not going to go too much into that now. Let's just pull a card from the Queen of the Moon Oracle by Stacey DeMarco for Divine Feminine. Yeah, you see, because castles, it's sort of like castles often in the old days, they had a moat around them. They had a moat. They had a drawbridge. Stop, who goes there? Am I going to let down the drawbridge and let you in? Literally, am I going to let you in or am I not? That's where this divine feminine energy is at. Because she knows her worth. She knows her worth. But, yeah. There is something to do with this mountain, this release of energy from that mountain. If they have been used for like ritual, sexual, tantra type stuff, yeah, there's like a release of collective energy there that hasn't been able to be expressed between the two that really ultimately needs to be able to express it. That's putting it as politely as I can. Okay. Right, okay, Divine Feminine. Let's have a card from this deck, please. Acceptance, yeah. I mean, there's an energy here of reaching out to him. Whether that is, that's not, pick up the phone, okay? In fact, it was funny. I wanted to have my phone here because I wanted to show you the picture of Tower Bridge, which I did. And I went to do this video and I could not find my phone anywhere. And I'd had it 5 minutes before I was watching a video. I was like, what the hell have I done with my phone? And I knew it was a message. It was like, you're not meant to have your phone. Your phone is you're not meant to use your phone. I found my phone in my wardrobe because I changed my top and I put the phone in there. I've never done that before in my life. So it's like, I'm not saying here the Divine Feminine is like, no, you pick up the phone and see how he's doing. I've said consistently, it's not about that. The Divine Masculine has to come to the Divine Feminine. Has to. It's just the way that it is, okay? Because the Divine Masculine has to rise to meet her. But that doesn't mean that she's not reaching out to him in dream time, in astral. You know, there is a connection going on. Astral sex as well, I'm hearing, is happening. Do I want to get into that? No, not really. But, you know, I don't think I need to say any more than that. It's just, it's happening in a dream state. It's real, basically. It's real. It's connection. It's reaching out to each other. Also for, you know, a cuddle, a hug, connection, just to be able to see the person because you're not, again, physically able to see them. There's also something here within the feminine energy, though, linked into acceptance. I'm picking up, I said before I pulled any cards, with the feminine energy, it's almost as though she feels more at peace with where she is. And I think it's linked into because she knows her worth. She knows her worth. She knows she is like this most beautiful, precious castle with a moat around it. And you've got to work hard, you know, and he is working hard. He is working hard. I mean, he's got the blinking destroyer going on. He's shape-shifting. He's on the threshold. He's thrashing around in the depths of the ocean. How much more work do you want them to be doing? Even if you can't see it, there is an inner work that's going on. Back to the masculine, I'm seeing lots of sleepless nights, not able to find peace, not able to rest, because he can't rest until he comes back to her, or is connected to her in some sort of real way. Now, I also want to bring in here, because I think it's important, people that have passed over, because the truth is you can lose your twin flame and they can die, and you can be the one that's left. Now, does that mean your life's over? No, it absolutely doesn't. It means that you have a very real connection with them, but it's not in the physical, okay? Shall I just pull a card on that scenario? I think that might be quite nice to do that for people. So let's just pull a card for that scenario. I'm just going to pull a card for the masculine and a card for the feminine, okay? So this is a situation where you've actually lost your twin flame and they have died, okay? So one of you is left living and the other is in spirit, okay? Let's just pull two cards for guidance for that, please, Metatron. Realization. It's a beautiful card. Look at that. So she's standing looking through a keyhole to another world. He's through the keyhole, basically, or she is through the keyhole, whichever party it relates to. So one person is left and one person has gone through the keyhole to the next life. The point is that the keyhole is very, very wide. That isn't about you following them. You follow them when your natural lifespan has finished and you're meant to. It's about, it's open. The communication is always there between the two of you. Yes, you do not have the physical connection anymore, but you do have a very strong connection still. And look at that. So she's left looking out, like, where have they gone? But around her, can you see that around her is just complete and utter spirit? That's the twin flame energy. So I'm probably not telling you anything you don't already know there, because I think you know that they are still with you. But look at how big the portal is for you to be able to connect, okay? For you to be able to still connect. So never feel as though you can't still connect. You absolutely can, okay? Let's have one more card for this energy for people that have lost a twin flame. People that have lost a twin flame, Metatron. Sovereignty, the card of sovereignty. You are sovereign beings, you and he. You are sovereign beings. You're king and queen of your world. They will always be the king or queen of your world. That doesn't mean that you can't necessarily meet a new partner. Often a twin flame that's passed over will send a new mate to their loved one because they want them to be happy. And you can be happy, and you can still have connection and love and sex and all the rest of it with somebody else. But there's always this thing about the true king and queen. You are still each other's true king and queen. That is the message. Okay, all right, let's just put that to one side. Let's go back now to the rest of you that are watching. Let's just see if there's any final messages that want to come out. Say here, let's just use a spray. What spray should I use? I've got Mary Magdalene here, so let's just use Mary Magdalene energy. Twin flames. She's saying people will often doubt you and mock you. She's talking about her lifetime with Jesus. Come on, she was written out of the Bible in terms of their relationship is not there. They had a relationship. There are many people that don't want to believe that that's even possible, that union happened, that connection happened then 2,000 years ago, and that connection is still there 2,000 years on. They always come together. Christ and Mary Magdalene, increasingly, they're always there together because there's this twin flame energy. And she's talking about the fact, just hold true to what it is that you know. Ultimately, it's only you that really needs to... It's about not seeking external validation for what you know to be true and who you know to be true and the love that you hold. It's along those lines. Let's pull a card from my Metatron deck, just because I did have it out. Let's see what Metatron wants to say at this point. Anything to say, Metatron, on twin flame energy? August 2020, moving into September, moving into the last part of the year, really. Twin flame energy. Anything to say that we haven't looked at or that you want to chip in? Chip in, he's saying. Sorry. Okay, so anything else you'd like to add? Oh, he's laughing with me. Yeah, okay. Healing. The energy of the colour rays. Okay, yeah, that's what I was talking about at the beginning. And funny, isn't it? Look, on this picture, this is the card of healing. You know, I was talking about the different colour rays that are going through the portals. Well, I said that the blue ray seemed to be leading the charge. Look at that. The blue ray is the one right at the front here. The blue rays are the one at the front. And then following that, I mean, whether this is true for the twin flame, but, you know, the way we've got it here, we've got the greens, the yellows, the oranges, magenta. But, you know, don't take it too literally, but I do think it's a bit of a nod to that. So, you see, because the blue, look at that, the blue ray, the people aligning with the blue ray, who are leading the charge, who are ready, who are being ushered through by spirit, they're not underneath the healing hand because they've done the healing. They're on their way. They're almost like they're not out of the picture, of course, but they're leading the charge. The people who are having the biggest need for healing at the moment are those who are identifying with the yellow ray, the gold ray, the orange ray, for some reason. That would make sense to me as well, because yellow is linked into fear, okay? And don't get me wrong, yellow is the most beautiful colour because it's also linked into beauty, Archangel Jophiel, wisdom, knowledge, knowingness, happiness, all the rest of it. All colours have a dualistic meaning. I'm just saying that the yellow rays are under the healing hand. So what's being healed for people identify with the colour yellow is fear, okay? Fear. Anxiety, stress, let that go. Where's that first card that we had, which we're also being helped by the Mars in Aries energy, softening to love, softening to love. Let go of that anger, that frustration that you feel, which can form like a knot in your stomach, you know, linked to the solar plexus, the colour yellow ray. Let God in, let go of addictions. Addiction is a yellow energy. Addiction is linked into the yellow ray as well. What helps heal it is gold, okay, as a colour frequency, by the way. So, yeah, that's what Metatron's got to say on that. Pause to receive healing. We've also got go within, clarity, go within, you know. What do we mean by that? What do I want to say on that, Metatron? Go within, clarity. It's pretty obvious, isn't it? You'll find the answers within. You'll find the answers within. There's no textbook out there. There's no book out there that can tell you the answers to any of this stuff with twin flame, to what you should be doing, where you should be heading. It's an inside job. It's an inside job. Okay, what I haven't done is actually just pulled a couple of cards for the actual connection between masculine and feminine. Should we do that? Let's go back to the archetype cards. We just have some water. Yeah, let's pull a couple of cards for the connection. Show me where the connection is between divine masculine and divine feminine at the moment. The village. Look at that. Talked about those mountains on fire. The Santa Cruz Mountains on fire. Look at that. I'll have to do a reading on the fires in California. There seems to be a link here for some reason. Look at that. It's a mountain on fire. And in front of it, we've got a ring. Somebody giving somebody a ring. The village. I'm hearing that phrase, which I think is from Indigenous elders, which is linked into it takes a whole village to raise a child. So in the context of twin flame, it takes a whole community to help these unions to manifest. What do I mean by that? I mean that really the twin flame community is an energy. It's got a life of its own. So the other thing I'm hearing is that you should be happy and you should be pleased. I know should is a word that has association, but I'm wanting to say should be pleased and happy for the ones that are making it through first. So ones who are still feeling, oh my God, I've still got a hell of a lot of work to do before this is ever going to happen. Don't begrudge the people at the front. It's like you should be cheering them on. It's that thing about that, you know, it takes a whole village to raise a child. It takes a whole community to get this first bunch through. Okay. And then what they will be doing is I'm seeing them on the riverbanks cheering the rest through, you know, when the time is right. So it's very much a communal energy. I tell you what though, I mean, that mountain might be on fire, but that mountain is still very omnipresent and strong. So there's something about the power of the mountain, the summit, the peak, illuminated by the golds, the yellows, the reds. See what goes with it. So the connection between masculine and feminine, please. The relationship, let's just see where we're at. The village. Goes with that. The mask. Something going on with these portals. I'm reading these cards intuitively, so if you've got this deck, you might be thinking, hold on, she's saying something different from the book. I don't read cards in that way, okay? That to me is looking like Ayers Rock, Uluru. Have I said it right? Have I said it right? If I haven't, don't worry. Sorry, apologies, but you know, I'm a human being. That's looking to me like Uluru, Ayers Rock. This is the Santa Cruz Mountains. Oh my God. Okay, again, if you watch all my videos, I've been talking for about the last 18 months about the change. I've been talking about a wave of ascension energy that's moving from east to west. It started in the east, in Australia, and then it moves to the west. We had the fires in Australia at the start of this year, raging out of control. We've now got fires in the other side of the world, the west, in California, burning out of control. I know that the Australians are being asked to come and help the Americans to put them out. There's something here about that energy. It's an awakening energy. The wave that I saw going from east to west was an awakening energy. This to me is, there's an awakening in terms of these connections, and that's why I'm back doing another video. The mask, the mask is being dropped in terms of no hiding place anymore. No hiding place in terms of I don't really feel this. I just don't feel this. No more of this energy. Where was it? Coping mechanisms. That's on its way out. Drop the mask. I do feel this. I do actually feel this. In fact, I feel this to such an extent, somehow this has to manifest, because what is within is without. You know, as within, as without, as above, so below. If I'm feeling something that strong and it's burning that brightly, it has to ultimately manifest in the physical world. That's why these unions are starting to happen. Yeah, that's what I'm getting, guys. That's what I'm getting. Yeah, bottom of the deck, the underworld. There's a lot happening beneath the surface that you can't see. There's a lot happening beneath the surface that you can't see. The rich flora and fauna of the underworld, undergrowth. I know this card says underworld, but I read it as undergrowth on my last video, so I'm wanting to stick with undergrowth because it ties into this video. But equally, there's something linked into underworld in terms of this is a bottom-up job. What the hell do I mean by that? What I mean is that these connections, these reunions, this ever closer connection which are coming in, because it's an inside job, because you've actually done the inner work, it's grounded, it's coming up from ground level, it has substance, it's something that's been planted in the soil, it's germinated, it's being watered, it's felt the heat, it's coming up, it's arising. But also a lot of support from unseen energies that you don't realise are even trying to help this. I think that's where we are. Let's pull a final card from the Starseed Oracle, which is where we began, and then I will get this uploaded. Okay, final card please for people watching. Twin Flame. Any other message linked into Twin Flames, please? Oops. Any other message, please, linked into Twin Flames? Double mission. Well, yeah, double mission. Okay, double mission. Yeah, double mission. You know, some of us, some of you, some of us, there's a double mission. You might very well have had a mission already in your life, a solo mission. That's what I'm hearing. Some of us have had solo missions up to this point. There is a double mission coming in. There is something that you're meant to be doing together with your twin flame. Okay, those of you that are already with your twin flame, there is a double mission. Okay, it's literally like you're being reminded what that is. Is it a project? Is it a business? Is it a charity? Is it, I don't know, a healing adventure? Is it a child? Is it, I don't know what it is, but serve the world, light worker starseed, double mission. It's time. Yeah, I'm going to leave it there, guys. I hope you found that helpful, interesting. Let's just see how it goes. It looks like I'll be doing the next one at 11:11 then, doesn't it? Because I've just been given that's the next signpost. So for those that are being ushered through, good luck, keep going. For those who are feeling as though they're more at the back of the flotilla, keep on going. You know, nobody is unaccounted for is what I'm hearing. Spirit can see everybody, okay? Much love. Take care of yourselves. Bye for now. Bye.